Alrighty, what are assets, liabilities, and equity? So, as the definition implies up here, assets are very important to a business. However, it's very critical to understand the difference between tangible assets and what's called intellectual property. Tangible assets, they fall in a broad range of categories, ranging from vehicles, real estate, to computers, office furniture, just other fixtures or objects in general. They usually hold monetary value on an actual balance sheet, and most of them can be depreciated or expensed by appraisers eventually. And intellectual property, on the other hand, it's harder to understand, and it's simply just a more complicated concept. But it's intangible assets that a company owns. So ultimately, it's extremely high value in today's increasingly knowledge-based economy. Being able to sort of extract knowledge and value from one's intellectual ability is priceless, and it proves extremely beneficial for a company that's in competition with others. Intellectual property is it's fiercely guarded and protected by the companies that hold ownership over it. And some types of intellectual property may include, trademarks, copyright, granted property rights from the government agencies, exclusive rights to use, copy, or duplicate specific material, etc. So liabilities, they're ultimately debt. It's usually money. They're settled over time through a transfer of economic benefits, such as money, goods, or even services such as loans, mortgages, or warranties. Think of it this way: they're considered an owed debt as they need to eventually be repaid over time. There are usually about two types of liabilities, being current or long term. Current liabilities, they're debts that need to be paid within a year. And on the other hand, I think long term liabilities are debts that need to be paid over a long period of time. Take a 30-year mortgage, for example. That would be obviously considered a long term liability as it needs to be repaid over that longer period of time. But those individual mortgage payments that are actually due at the end of each year, those are what you would consider current liabilities. And then finally, we have equity. Equity is known as the value of a company's sale minus any liabilities by the company. It's really important for analysts in determining the financial health of a company. And each shareholder of a company has a stake in the company. So if all the assets were liquidated and debts were erased, the amount of return that's received would represent the equity. Owning equity, it gives shareholders the right to vote or have an opinion on corporate actions and in any board elections. And there is negative or positive shareholder equity. If it's positive, the company has enough assets to cover its liabilities if they were to be liquidated. And then if it's negative, it's literally the complete opposite. The company's liabilities would exceed the assets if they were liquidated. Thank you.